Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Figures of Sport podcast. Guys, we took a little bit of a break to make sure that we get you guys some really good content. And also because we wanted to make sure that we had our boy George G Money back for the Super Bowl special. We had him through so many key moments of the regular season throughout the NFL, the first week of the playoffs, and obviously, last couple weeks we've been lacking without our boy. So we are very excited to say that our boy G Money will be back on today's episode, and we are only going to make this a football focused episode. Just a preview for next week. I'm not sure if we will get G Money back or not to kind of recap the Super Bowl, but I can tell you right now that next week you should expect an NBA trade deadline recap. Some big moves went on today, but we are going to talk about that a little bit more next week. This week is all about football and the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 60. Super excited for this game. But before we get into any of that, ladies and gentlemen, you guys know the drill. I'm going to ask you guys to do me one favor, and that's it. Just one quick favor. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel. We are at, if I'm not mistaken, like 93 subscribers, guys. We are 7 subs away from hitting that 100 mark. And what better episode to finally say this got us over the edge than the Super Bowl special? So do me that huge favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, family, and let's get to 100 subscribers, because you know it means the world to me, to George, and to and of course I got to give you guys a huge shout out for making sure that you guys are supporting and showing love all the time. So huge appreciation to you guys, and without further ado, let's do what we do, and let's bring in our boy G Money. Welcome back, George, to the podcast.
Thank you. It's been a long time. Good to be back.
I know, man. It's been a few weeks, but it feels like a lot longer, bro. It really does.
Football's been boring without the Bears in it.
Hey, man, it really has, unfortunately. But real quick, George, I gotta ask, because we got you. You were at the Packers-Bears game in that the wild card round. So I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I gotta know, how was it?
I mean, it was 21-3 at half. I'm there with my boy, and we went to go get a glizzy, just like get something in your stomach during halftime to pass the time, and we're standing there, sad as hell, right? And I'm just like F this, dude. I was like, you're about to witness the greatest comeback ever. On my life, I can bring him on the pod next week for assurance, to make sure this is true. We get back to first of all, even that whole atrocious first half, I've never seen a stadium where everyone's on their feet the whole time. Like, there was no one sitting down from start to finish that whole game. And Bears start creeping, and as soon as we take the lead, it was like you could feel the ground shaking the whole fourth quarter. Like, it was insane. Like, every time we were on defense, the crowd was just insane. It was just an unbelievable experience. My first ever Bears playoff game experience against that team at home. First playoff win in forever. I mean, it was just insane. And then I was really upset that I didn't pull the trigger to go to the next one against the Rams. Yeah. But I felt like if I had spent like double the amount the week after, and then seeing that play, having a heart attack, and then losing in overtime, I think I would have just died at Soldier Field, probably.
Yeah, man, that was a heartbreaker, bro. I was watching that game, and when I saw that play, like running back 20 yards after that.
Yeah, I mean, he threw it from the 50, and you look on every app, and it's like 14-yard touchdown. It's like, you don't realize that it was only like a 14-yard. It was only 14 yards. And when I saw that, I wasn't even. It took me a while before I started jumping and cheering and well, what the hell? But for like a good 20 seconds, I'm sitting there confused, like, how?
Yeah,
how did he do that? Like, what is going on?
I think when that happened, my jaw just dropped, and I was just sitting there like, bro,
staring at the TV.
Like, there's no way this just happened.
20 seconds to process what he did, what happened, and I was like, is that even possible? Like, I didn't even know that was humanly possible. Someone can do that, and this guy just continues to do
Hey
the most
man,
absurd
listen.
shit you've seen every week, bro.
Yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, man, the only thing I could say is it feels really nice knowing that we have our franchise quarterback.
I
And
mean, hopefully he can.
yeah, and he can
I mean,
continue
next
to
year, another full year in Ben's system. I mean, coming into this year, the main concern was he can't be taking a lot of sacks, and he cut the
yeah,
sacks in half.
yeah,
And then, towards the beginning of the season, the issue was the pre-snap penalties, the illegal formations, the offsides, the delay of games, all that. I mean, the false starts, the delay of games, all that stuff. And they managed to fix that throughout the season,
yeah,
especially towards the mid to the end. So like you see, like some of the big issues that need to be fixed, he has fixed them. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? And at the end of at the last press conference, he said, I got to work on my feet, I got to work on my mechanics, I got to work on my accuracy. So I have full confidence that he's going to be able to work with Ben and his receivers and get his timing right and his accuracy right, because we've seen him fix the mistakes that were big issues before, the
yeah,
sacks and the penalties and all this stuff. And now it's the accuracy and the timing. So I feel like, a full year in this system already in, he knows how he has a feel for it. He can kind of like see through the eyes of Ben Johnson how he wants it. And, so I think it will be a lot, but I mean, it's also like, I know the accuracies were an issue. I don't want to I'm going to put a lot of the blame on him because some of them are like, come on, dude, really? But you
yeah.
watch full Bears
We
games, you
did
got to
do.
see a lot of drops. There
Yeah,
was a
we
lot
did
of
have a lot of
throwaways to avoid
drops. So
sack, but like almost like 75% are like, come on, dude, like you got to
yeah,
hit that.
no,
Like, you
I
got to
agree.
make that.
Yeah, some of the easy plays he definitely missed out on, but
It would make his life so much easier, so that way he doesn't have to do the shit like against the Rams or the 4th and 8 throw against the Packers. Like, so you don't have to do that all
yeah,
the time. Like
yeah. I
hit
mean,
this shit and then
yeah,
we'll be fine.
yeah,
So
exactly.
hopefully
But
it'll work.
hey,
It'll
man.
work
But
out.
yeah, no. I mean, overall, though, man, before, we kind of move to the Super Bowl, I just got to say real quick, shout out to the Bears, man. Hell of a season.
Hell of a season.
Incredible season. And, I'm really, really looking forward to next year. So
Yeah.
that's all I got to say about the Chicago Bears. But now, George, it's that time. It is time to talk about Super Bowl 60. And you know what, man? This is going to be a fun one, if I do say so myself. I'm really looking forward to this one, honestly. I know that maybe some people aren't, but myself, I really am looking forward to it. It should be a good one. We got some good players on both sides, and we got some good stories too, right? Like the second year quarterback and Drake May, and then you got the guy who was written off for so many years up in Sam Darnold, who's been balling. So it's going to be a fun one. Jump right to it, and just to give our viewers a little bit of backstory, there's some history here between these two teams, man. We're going to talk about the roads to the Super Bowl first, though. But so road to the Super Bowl, what I want to do here is kind of just give our viewers a quick story on how these two teams got here and why these two teams got here. So first off, we'll start with the Seahawks. They had the first round bye. Then they beat San Francisco's ass in the divisional round, 41-6. I mean, straight up belt to ass.
I mean,
Embarrassing loss.
It wasn't even fair.
Like embarrassing loss. Talk about embarrassing. Like
it was like punishment. It's like it's like the 49ers have suffered so much all season, losing almost all of their players.
Right.
And then they make the playoffs, they beat the Eagles. Everyone's like, oh, hey, maybe they can do it. And then that happens to them, and you're like, damn.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in the divisional round we picked Seattle to win anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, 41-6
was crazy. Like, I don't think anybody saw that coming. So
I mean, I think Indiana probably could have put up more than 6.
Yeah, like, I mean, damn. But that was the divisional round. Then in the NFC Championship game, it was a great game for those of you who didn't watch, because, of course, there's going to be the people that just watch the Super Bowl just to watch the Super Bowl. But 31-27, Seahawks win that game. Sam Darnold balled out, 346 passing yards, I believe 3 touchdowns. JSN had 153 receiving yards. I mean, hell of a game by those two guys. Kenneth Walker's been balling all playoffs.
See what happens when
for
they give him the
them.
ball?
Exactly.
See what happens when they give him the ball?
I wish they gave him the ball more during the regular season when I had him on my fantasy team.
But had to get injured for them to realize, hey, Kenneth Walker was your starter the whole time. He was listed as the starter of the depth chart. We should use him maybe.
Yeah. I wish they realized that when I had him starting in my fantasy team every single week. But he's going to get paid this year. I'll tell you that. He is going to get paid. But that was how they got to the Super Bowl. But throughout the entire season, Seattle kind of got to the Super Bowl because of the fact that their defense obviously is incredible, right? Super young defense, but they're very physical. And then on top of that, their offense is very explosive, right? Like Sam Darnold is one of the best deep ball throwers in the NFL this season. And then of course he has JSN, who is one of the best deep ball threats in the league. And then of course on the opposite side, you got Rashid Shaheed, so they've got some really good young pieces that kind of everyone just really gelled together at the right time this year.
Yeah, they're humming on all phases.
Yeah,
right
and they're rolling, man.
Moving, defense is killer. Even the special teams with Shaheed as returner is insane. Like that defense is just disturbingly dominant. Like you have older vets like Leonard Williams and DeMarcus Lawrence. They're like applying so much pressure. Witherspoon is still there, Woolen, and then I think he's a rookie. Edmund Wari, he's
oh my god, he's a dog.
All over the field.
He's a dog, bro.
They put him in over the field.
They run him, back in coverage. They put him in the box to blitz. Like this guy is a dog. He's a jack.
In my opinion, watching him, it's like a prime Jamal Adams that can also cover and that can also play coverage.
Like, bro,
not just blitzing all the time. He can stop the run. He can get to the quarterback. He's just insanely fast.
He's a dog, and I'm pretty sure he was a second round pick, and I mean that kid is balling out.
Yeah,
man.
He's balling his ass out.
He's a dog. So shout out to the Seahawks for scooping him up because man, I'm sure a lot of teams watch his film and be like, damn, I wish I had that kid on my team. But yeah. So then on the other side, Patriots. Obviously, we all know the history of the New England Patriots, right? Real quick though, before I talk about the Patriots, I gotta highlight this because this was absolutely ridiculous to kind of just find out. Bill Belichick is not a first ballot Hall of Famer,
and Robert Kraft too. That
and neither is Robert Kraft. So very crazy.
Brady's not going to be either,
bro. I mean, I'll be honest. If they don't vote Brady first ballot, I mean, some people are losing their jobs.
I mean, it doesn't make sense. Bill Belichick is second all time in wins.
Yeah.
Most all time in playoff wins, most in coaching rings, 6 as a head coach, 2 as a defensive coordinator.
Like
what
more do you have to do to become a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Cheating scandals and stuff like that.
Listen,
I mean, if that's the case, then you can't put Brady in their first ballot either because he was part of those too. But you're not, they're not going to do that.
Yeah, of course.
So the only one that I saw that was kind of like it made sense to me was because he's still coaching. Like he was just coaching in North Carolina this last season. Like that's the only thing that made sense to me. He's still coaching technically, and he's not retired.
I just still don't get it, man. Like it's to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, though. I mean, I don't know, man. It just feels
because he was like an asshole to the media. But what does that have to do with anything?
The
only one that made sense to me was if this is actually true and then they actually voted no against it is because he's still coaching. That's the only thing that kind of makes sense to me. Because how can you be in the Hall of Fame and still doing what you're doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be retired for that to happen.
Yeah, which I understand, but I just, man,
But it's the Pro Football
crazy.
Hall of Fame. Like he's coaching college,
like
you know.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me, man. But hey, man, I really hope some of those ballots come back. Like I wish it wasn't anonymous.
Yeah, I wish they revealed who voted.
Yeah, because I think MLB they do have the Hall of Fame voters. I believe they can have their votes published with their name and everything. So hopefully we can figure out who it was because some of those people, man, it's a very questionable decision there. But anyway, back to the main story here. Patriots, how they got to the Super Bowl. This was, a team finished second in the AFC, so they didn't get the bye. So they faced the Chargers in the wild card round, beat them 16-3. Very ugly game. Then they faced the Texans in the divisional round where C.J. Stroud, I believe, threw like 15 interceptions, had like 14 fumbles. Super ugly game by them. Won that, like I said, 28-16 to advance to the championship game. Unfortunately, did not face a fully healthy Broncos team because they were without Bo Nix. I believe he fractured his ankle in the divisional round against the Bills and was unable to play in the NFC Championship game. So I really do wish we got to see a healthy Bo Nix because I think maybe this game, the outcome of this game is different. Or at least we get a better looking game because this game was terrible to watch. 10-7, ugly, snowy game in Denver.
Yards that game?
Yeah, Drake May finished with the game with like 86 passing yards. Ramondre Stevenson, I believe, had almost as many rushing yards as Drake May had passing yards. I believe he had like 73 or 75, something like that. And then, yeah, I mean, again, faced a backup quarterback who, I mean, for the most part, kept them in the game. I mean, Denver had some missed field goals, and then, kind of to seal the game, which, by the way, was one of the dumbest things I had ever seen because Denver, on the last two plays of the game, they ran like the exact same play. And then, like, the first play, it was like Stidham realized he's like, damn, I missed him. Let me do it again. And then throws the exact same type of ball, but this time to the actual receiver. I believe it was Marvin Mims. I think it was Marvin Mims on the outside by towards the sideline. And then Christian Gonzalez, he floats it. It's one of the worst thrown balls I've seen in a long time. Christian Gonzalez just jumps it. And bro, you just ran that same play. But anyway, beat the backup quarterback. I mean, hey, they did the job. They beat who was in front of them, right? So we've been saying that all year long about the Patriots. They beat who's in front of them. So, so now we got this matchup. And, I mean, listen, we could talk as much as we want about New England. They returned to the Super Bowl because they have a very disciplined, efficient, and very situational type of. They play a very situationally elite style of football. Very good in certain situations, and can really kind of lock you up when they really need to. Solid defense. I mean, that's kind of like their main backbone. And then on offense, keeping control of the ball. Quick passing game, good run game, obviously with Ramondre and Travion Henderson. And again, just they don't like to beat themselves. So, I mean, good coaching by Vrabel, great coaching by Vrabel, and great coaching by Mike McDonald. So this is going to be a fun game to kind of just watch and see kind of what happens. I think it'll be very interesting to see how these two teams kind of pair up against each other. So, yep. But yeah, so that's how these two teams got to the Super Bowl, right? So now, next topic I want to talk about, George, is that this is a rematch from the 2014 season. So the game was played on February 1st, 2015. So this game happened 11 years ago. Do you remember that game? Man,
I ran it on the one.
Should have ran it on the one, man. Did you see that they asked Sam Darnold that actually?
He's like, is he available for a 1-game contract or something like that?
Yeah. And then they were like, would you throw it or would you run it? He's like, I might throw it, but because you don't want to get stuffed. And then, but yeah, man, I mean, what are your thoughts on this one? Like,
should be fun. It'd be so hilarious if that situation pops up in the game where it's like, oh, Seahawks are on the one and they need to score right here.
Bro.
It'd be peak cinema. It'd be peak cinema. But
yeah.
I mean, look, the defense for the Patriots has come up at the perfect time and they've been playing the lights out, these last 3 games for them, which has been like the thing that they needed all year. Basically, like the defense has been pretty good, but not like anything like to rave over like we have been with the Texans, the Broncos, and the Seahawks. But they're coming alive. They're shutting teams down right now, forcing turnovers. So it's gonna be very good. These two defenses. It's just gonna be all on the quarterbacks this game. Who's gonna perform better in the biggest game? It's gonna be Darnold. There's gonna be May. Obviously, Darnold has the better weapons around him in terms of receivers and running backs. I think it's going to be tough. I think the Seahawks are going to make Drake May a little uncomfortable. We saw in that Texans game, if you remember, Will Campbell kind of had a rough game going against Will Anderson, and Daniel Hunter, them flip-flopping. And now you got Leonard Williams on that D line. You got DeMarcus
DeMarcus
Lawrence. That D line just
DeMarcus Lawrence,
hums. They bring
Byron
him and
Murphy, like
Wari off the edge. So
yeah,
they're gonna be putting some pressure on May. Can May sit in that pocket and deal it up like he's been doing this season so far? Can Darnold? They were always the big question was, can he perform in the biggest moments? And he performed well, pretty good in 2 games to get the Super Bowl. Now it's the biggest moment.
Yeah.
It's the biggest moment here. So it's gonna be good. I'm gonna take the Seahawks though.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna get to that at the end, but yeah, I mean, I think a big thing for me too here is that obviously, like there's the history here, right? So obviously Seattle still has that sour taste in their mouth, right? From that happening all those years ago. But what I do think here is going to be something that, I think is going to be a huge difference between the two teams is the fact that we got to remember just 2 years ago, San Francisco made the Super Bowl. And guess who was on that roster as a backup quarterback in San Francisco? Sam Darnold. So he hasn't been here as a starter, but he's been there before. He knows the intensity, he knows the pressure, he knows the preparation that it kind of takes to go into a Super Bowl. And on the other side, you got a second-year quarterback, and a team that not a lot of people really expected to be in this situation. So I think this is just going to be a fun one because this is a rematch from so many years ago, but also just because of the fact that the story's kind of behind everything, right? Like Vrabel going back to his old team and coaching them now and making it to the Super Bowl in his first year. You got the second year rookie sensation, quarterback who's been a sensation this year and in the MVP talks, and then the story of Sam Darnold. And it's just I'm so excited, man, because this is going to be a fun one. I'm just so excited because of the fact that not only are we going to be able to kind of see these two teams that are kind of different but kind of similar in certain ways, like for example, the Patriots, their best trait I would probably say is obviously Drake May has been elite, but their defense has always kept them in games, right? They're no slouch. I wouldn't say they're Seattle level, but they're no slouch. And then on Seattle's side, their defense is elite, right? So kind of both teams that are very much defensive focused, good quarterback play. It's at the end of the day, it's going to come down to see who can be more efficient as a quarterback, kind of like you said. So, I guess we'll have to see if Seattle gets into that situation. Do they run it? Do they throw it? And if they do throw it,
fucking run that ball.
If they do throw it, can Sam Darnold do the unthinkable and make the right pass this time? So, but real quick, I do want to talk about the key matchups to watch because we kind of talked about the defensive line from, for example, Seattle and the pressure that they can, kind of cause. You jumped on it before I kind of got to bring it up. But Seattle's pass rush is insane, right? Like you said, you got Wari, you got Lawrence, you've got Williams, you've got Mafe, you've got so many great players on that defensive front that can kind of cause a lot of pressure for New England, who I believe not only do they have Will Campbell starting, but they have another rookie on the opposite side, I believe, who is starting in the Super Bowl too. So it's really just going to be able to kind of see, like, can New England, limit the pressure from Seattle and keep Drake May clean and give him time to throw in the pocket. Because honestly, if New England can keep the pocket clean, I feel like they are a team that can control the tempo of the game because they move kind of slow, a lot of running, quick, plays, they're not like really a super risky team. Like they're not a team that relies on the deep ball. They can do it. They have their moments, but they're very different from Seattle in that sense. Seattle is looking for the kill sometimes. New England likes to slow things down, take their time, be very methodical about things. So it'll be interesting to see that one. And then the other thing, Patriots secondary versus Seattle's deep threats. Like, how are you going to guard JSN and Rashid Shaheed? That's going to be a tough one.
Christian Gonzalez is going to have some work put on him this week.
Oh, he sure is. And, obviously some of like the X factors here are the fact that Seattle obviously is so explosive on offense, can force turnovers defensively and, they can extend drives just because some of those guys that they got, like they have, like you kind of mentioned earlier, they have a bunch of weapons. You got Barner, Cooper Kupp, JSN, Rashid Shaheed, Kenneth Walker. Like they have a bunch of guys that you can get the ball to. And not saying that New England doesn't, but it's just not the same kind of level. So it's going to be interesting to see, because then on the other side, New England has red zone efficiency, solid on defense, obviously, especially third down situations. And yeah, it's going to be fun though, man.
Yeah, it's gonna
Those
be
are some
really
of
good.
like the key matchups to watch. And let me ask you this real quick. Um, who do you think is going to be your player of the game? Like, who do you think, maybe they're not, let me rephrase that, I guess. They may not necessarily be the best player in the game. They may not finish with 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. But who's going to be the key player of the game?
I think he's gonna be DeMarcus Lawrence. I think him going up against the rookie left tackle in a Super Bowl. I mean, I think he's gonna apply so much pressure that will make Drake very uncomfortable. That he's gonna be like one of the biggest impacts in this game.
Okay. So just okay, so let's see. So you got DeMarcus Lawrence as your key player of the game. DeMarcus Lawrence, key player of the game. Okay. All right. So
What about you?
I'm gonna go with Seattle on this one too. But I think my key player of the game, for Seattle to win this game is gonna be Rashid Shaheed. And the reason I say that is because I feel like since they acquired Shaheed, slowly they've been, involving him in the offense in different ways, right? And last week against the Rams, you saw a big play to him. Um, but realistically, I just don't feel like they've shown the full package of Rashid Shaheed yet, right? Like you've got a guy who's one of the best deep ball threats in the league, right? He's so fast, he's shifty. Obviously, he's a great special teams guy too. But I think that this is the game that they open up the playbook, get him more involved, because there's going to be so much attention on JSN and maybe even Cooper Kupp, right? And probably AJ Barnard too, because he's a guy that they target in kind of some of those short down situations, or especially the red zone. I feel like this is the perfect game for Rashid Shaheed to kind of just get more involved in that offensive play calling, and just and really kind of have his way. I wouldn't be surprised if he scores a touchdown this game. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for 80 yards this game. Like, I think if he is involved heavily in this game, they can
It
easily.
might not even be that way. It might be he has some good kick returns that puts him in,
That
in,
too.
in great
That
field
too.
position.
Yeah, but I think he's going to have to be a contributor on offense. I guess we can count special teams differently, but special teams and offense, he just has to be making plays for the team to benefit them, and I think they can win this game because of him. So that's my key player of the game here. And last but not least, I guess we kind of already touched on it a little bit, but who you got? What's the final score you got, and why?
I'm gonna take Seattle, and it's just like I'm a big like not fate, but like non-coincidences and stuff like that. This time I'm gonna take Seattle 28-24.
I knew you were gonna say
I'm
that.
gonna do
I
Seattle 28-24.
I knew you were gonna say that. Oh man, and why?
Why not?
All right.
Why not? It's
Okay.
been what 10 years since this last matchup.
Yeah, man. Yeah. All right.
But realistically, if I had to guess, I would take Seattle 24 to
Don't say what I think you're gonna
16.
say. Okay. I was gonna take Seattle 24-17.
Same shit.
24-17. I think here, just overall, I just think Seattle's a better team. I think they're a more complete team in all areas. Just offensively, you got more weapons. Defensively, I think they're more sound. They can come at you from so many different angles. Can pressure, can cover. they're just an overall great team, man. Like I feel like we kind of questioned them in the beginning, starting hot, and then you lose a couple games, and then you're like, are they for real? And I feel like every time we questioned them, they showed us. So there's no point in doubting them this time, right? And I think Drake May is a young quarterback. He's really good. I think he's going to have another chance to get here at some point in his career.
Yeah.
But I think in this matchup, I just got to go with Seattle and that defense. So, yeah, I'm going to have to roll with the Seahawks here. That's all I got to say. All right. Now, that's all we've got for you guys. George, by the way, do you potentially have a podcast parlay for the viewers?
I'll cook something up and send it to you, and then we can.
All right. There. All right. So you guys heard it here. We will cook something up for the Super Bowl. We'll see what we can get cooked up, and then we will post that for you guys and try to make some money on Super Bowl Sunday this week. So, but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be an episode. We're going to call it a wrap on episode 92. Thank you guys for coming back and watching the episode here with us. Thank you, George, for coming back and being back for the Super Bowl preview special. This was a big one, so we had to get you on. And, of course, big ups to you. Shout out to you, man, for being with the podcast this entire season. Your input was very valuable, and I hope that we will try to find time to get you back on. I know the schedules are tough right now, but, we'll get you back on, and whether it's basketball or baseball, we've got a lot that we could talk about. So thank you again for your contributions this season. Always. Maybe we'll see you next week to kind of recap the Super Bowl, but we'll figure that out. And ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, now that it's the end of the episode, I can bring it up again. We are about 7 subscribers away from 100 subscribers. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we are so close. But don't forget, while you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Then share this video with your friends, family, coworkers, don't matter who. Don't care. Just share. And that is a wrap on episode 92, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again for coming back to the Figures of Sport podcast, and we'll catch you guys next week. Don't forget, we got the trade deadline special and then the recap coming out too. So be on the lookout. And thanks again. Peace.
Be honest to the Bulls.
Be honest to the Bulls, baby. Let's get it. All right. Peace out.